Boom, I'm in the room. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Lord Heale Live. Now, I thought I was going to jump on the bandwagon. So many people are having a go at this. So I thought I'll put the ball in myself. If you ain't seen what's going on. Now, yesterday, the Mayor of London, the little poison dwarf, Sadiq Khan, rolled out the ULEZ zone. If you don't know what ULEZ is, it's the ultra low emission zone. Now, it used to be started off just round sort of Westminster. So you had to pay to go into Westminster. Now he's rolled it out to almost the M25. So London as a whole, almost the whole of London now is ultra low emission zone. Now he says it's to clean up the air in London. I say rubbish. If he wanted to clean up the air in London, what he would do is stop vehicles going in. But instead, charge him £12.50 to go into the low emission zone. Ain't doing anything other than making him some money. That's what it's about. It's all about making Sadiq Khan some money. It's all about making money because he's in such debt. He has totally mismanaged the budget for London. Look how many times the government has had to bail him out on TfL. So it's a money grabbing. Now, the government could overturn it, stop it altogether. Will they? Not sure they will. They say, we don't have the power to do it. Yes, they do. There is a clause that they can do it. And if they don't use that, then they can make a law and do it. Personally, I would say get rid of all of the devolved powers. It don't work and it cost us taxpayers a lot of money, a lot more money. They could reform the House of Commons. They could reform the House of Lords. And let's face it, it needs it. The House really does need reforming, and they need to get rid of an awful lot of them. Did you know there is over 800 odd lords that can go in there any day they like, turn up, sign in, and get this, and get £300 just for turning up. Sign a bit of paper, go out again. They don't have to even go into the chamber. They just have to turn up, get £300 of our money. That's our taxpayers' money that they're getting. And for doing what? That's the question. For doing what? Not a lot, trust me. I would sack the lot of them. Get rid of them. Probably need a little upper chamber and have it elected. An elected upper chamber to put the checks and balances on the government, to sign off on laws, just to dot the I's and crosses the T's. That's all it needs. But it don't need 800 of them to do it, 800 plus. And they should scrap the idea of getting your mates in there. I mean, look at that. It's full up with woke idiots, for want of another word. So many of them don't deserve it. So they could overturn ULEZ. The other money-making scam that they got going, the other money-making scam is the Dartford crossing. When they built that Dartford crossing, right, they said once they've got the money back for building it and all the rest of it, they will make it free to cross. So what did they do? Sold it to the French. Now the French are in charge of the Dartford crossing. And look how much it cost to cross that. Ridiculous amount of money. And they're making so much money out of it. How many foreigners pay it? How many foreigners go across the bridge and pay for it? I'll bet there ain't many. They can get away with it, can't they? Unlike us mugs, we have to pay for it. Not only that, I'll bet they get a grant, taxpayers' grant to maintain it. I'll bet it don't come out of their coffers. This is the whole problem with the system. It sucks. So the ULEZ scheme, right, is a prelude, on my words, it's a prelude to pay per mile. So you're not only paying your road tax, your road fund licence, and depends on your vehicle, depends on how much you pay. I pay, I think it's about 180 odd quid for my car. I'm paying 90 quid for my bike. It just, and then they want you to pay extra. They want you to pay extra to go into London. They want you to pay extra to go over a bridge. I mean, look at that bridge up in that goes across from Humberside, across the Humber. That's a ridiculous amount of money to save an 18 mile, I think it's about 18, 20 mile drive round. Look at the second Severn crossing. They got rid of that charge, didn't they? And that was so unfair. You only paid one way. You had to pay to go into Wales. Who in the right mind wants to pay to go into Wales? What they should have done is made you pay to come into England. That would have kept a lot of them out, wouldn't it? Let's face it. it would keep an awful lot of them out. Oh dear, you just couldn't make some of this stuff up. So this ULEZ malarkey, okay, it's being rolled out across cities at the moment, and it's going to be coming to a town near you. Before long, every town and city in the country will have a ULEZ zone. And once they got that in place, then they'll also add in pay per mile. Oh my words. It's on its way. And if you think it ain't, think again. Now, if you don't want it, if you want to see it scrapped, the only thing you can do at the next general election and the next local elections is to vote for change. And the way to get change is to get a Reform UK government in. London, the mayoral elections next year, I think it's May, a guy called Howard Cox from Fairfuel UK, and he's done an awful lot to keep down the price of fuel for us mugs, the taxpayer. He's standing for Reform UK to become Mayor of London. He's pledged day one he'll scrap the ULEZ totally across the whole of London. That in itself is a vote winning, isn't it? That is a proper vote winner. Will the people of London see sense? Do you think they will vote for him? Or do you think they'll be stupid and vote in Khan again? I mean, look what happened in the by-elections. Uxbridge. They lost that one, didn't they? Conservatives retained it. Conservatives retained it. But they're as bad as Labour. They're sitting on the fence about the ULEZ. They are sitting on it. They haven't come out to condemn it fully, have they? You know what I'm talking about? So it ain't going to happen, is it? People don't want it. People don't want to pay extra. Why should they? What are they doing with all that money that we're paying in road tax? The road fund licence. It says road fund licence. What are they doing with that money? They ain't spending it on filling potholes in, are they? They're not looking at doing anything with the roads. No. Where's it going? It's probably going into the NHS. Paying for all these managers. Did you know 48% of the wage budget goes on non-clinical staff? 48% for non-clinical staff. They're paying equality, diversity champions. They're paying them ridiculous amounts of money. Equality, diversity. Have you been into an NHS hospital? You'll be lucky to see any white people. Talk about diverse. Got every nation under the sun working for the NHS. So that's where a lot of the money goes. The government has borrowed, get this, they have borrowed close on 3 trillion quid. 3 trillion. That's going to take us decades to pay back. The interest alone is crippling us. And they encourage people to sit at home. They're encouraging people not to go out to work. They give them benefits. People don't want to work any more than 16 hours because if they do, they lose their benefits. And instead of training them up, giving them a decent wage, they'll keep them on low pay, work 16 hours and get benefits. How does that make any sense whatsoever? Look at Labour. They'll put massive, great windfall taxes on big firms. Do you think big firms are going to invest in this country when they can see that they're going to get stuffed? They'll take their business elsewhere. It just beggars belief what these people do, what goes through their minds, how they think it's a sensible thing to do. Why do they think they can get away with it? Because it's mugs that vote for them. Just listen when they come on the news. Just listen to, try and stay awake long enough just to listen to Starmer. He's a good, he's a good cure for insomnia, that's for sure. Listen to him for a minute and you and then you've got the likes of Angela Rayner, old potty mouth herself. Just look at Labour's front bench. That's scary. That is truly a scary thing. When you consider that they are likely, they are very likely to form the next government, which will probably be a hung parliament, so they'll have to rely on the Liberal Democrats to get in. We all know that the Conservatives are going to get smashed. They're going to get annihilated at the next general election. And probably the reason for that is that your traditional Conservative voter won't turn out. They just can't be bothered. And then, if you don't use your vote, don't complain. That's what I'm saying. If you don't use your vote, you've got no right to complain. You know what I mean? If you don't use your vote, you can't complain. End of story. So I would urge you to get out and vote. And when you go into that voting booth and you see Reform UK on the voting slip, just put your cross in that. Because that's the only chance that we've got any hope of changing things in this country. They're the only ones that have the balls and the personnel to be able to effect the change that this country needs. You know I'm right. You just know I'm right. So if you want things to stay as they are or get worse, they won't stay as they'll get worse. That's a fact. ULEZ will get expanded right out to the perimeter of the M25 in London. And then it'll get rolled out across all the towns and cities across the country. So every time you get in your car, not only are you paying your road tax, you'll also have to change the pay ULEZ, whether your car's compliant or not. And before long, you'll be paying per mile as well, on top of. So every time you get in your car, mile down the road, they'll charge you. You know it's coming. You can see it happening. So my advice, for what it's worth, my tuppence worth, would be turn out at the next general election and your local elections and put that cross in Reform UK. If you don't, if you want things to stay as they are, do what you've always done. If you want to see change, you know what to do. I've given you that advice. Know where my cross is going for? And the people that say, well, if you vote for that, it's only a vote for Starmer, or it's just a wasted vote. It ain't going to be a wasted vote if everybody does it. If everybody sees the sense and wants change, they'll put that cross in that box for Reform UK. There will be a candidate in your constituency to vote for. Do it. So that's me. That's my tuppence worth. Thanks for indulging me. I just thought I'd go on today and have a little bit of a moan. That ULEZ malarkey is what it is. It's crazy. It is mad. So until tomorrow, got a good live show tomorrow night, every day regarding mental health. Mental health matters, really does. So until then, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Oh, got another one.